Talent is a lie. Luck is an excuse. In genetic destiny, that's just a story weak people tell themselves to feel better about losing. For 1,000 years, the samurai knew what modern science is only now proving. Winning is not a mystery, it's a system. A predictable biological, psychological, and strategic machine that anyone can build. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they hacked the winner effect, developed an unbreakable internal locus of control, and compounded their way to mastery one microscopic victory at a time. Talent is a lie. The samurai's 1,000-year-old system for predictable success. If you are tired of negotiating with your feelings, falling victim to distractions, and leaving your potential on the table, stop scrolling. Your blueprint starts now. The samurai of feudal Japan did not merely stumble into mastery. They forged it through a relentless, systematic process that mirrors the very framework of predictable success. To the Bushi, victory was never a whisper of luck or the accident of birth, but the logical conclusion of a disciplined system, a convergence of biological readiness, psychological fortitude, and strategic precision. They understood that the battlefield, whether physical or spiritual, belongs not to the talented, but to the prepared. This ancient wisdom aligns perfectly with modern science, revealing that winning is not a mystery, but a machine, and its blueprint is written in the code of the warrior. The first pillar of this system is the biological hack of the winner effect, which the samurai cultivated through daily ritual. Before the sun rose, a warrior engaged in keiko, not grand battles, but the microscopic repetition of drawing the katana, adjusting the grip, and refining a single strike. These were not mere exercises. They were micro-wins, neurological deposits that altered the brain's chemistry, elevating testosterone and dopamine while suppressing cortisol. Each tiny successful action primed the nervous system for dominance, creating a physiological cascade that made the next challenge feel surmountable. The samurai knew that confidence is not a feeling that descends from heaven, but a chemical state that ascends from the dojo floor, built one perfect motion at a time. Central to the warrior's psyche was an uncompromising internal locus of control, a radical accountability that the Japanese called jisei, self-mastery. The samurai rejected the external noise of fate, astrology, or the whims of a daimyo as excuses for failure. Instead, they embraced the Gorin no Sho, Book of Five Rings, where Miyamoto Musashi teaches that the way is in the self. When a warrior fell, he did not blame the rain, the terrain, or the enemy's trickery. He asked only, "What did I fail to see? What did I fail to execute?" This shift from external to internal is the fulcrum of power, for it transforms a victim of circumstance into the architect of outcome. In taking complete ownership of every result, the samurai annihilated the paralysis of self-pity and turned every defeat into a raw material for future victory. Strategically, the samurai executed with a cold, mathematical precision that anticipated the Pareto principle and the strategy of inversion. They understood that 80% of a battle's outcome was decided by the 20% of actions taken before the clash, the scouting, the positioning, and the timing. Yet their true genius lay in inversion. They planned not only for victory, but for the precise points of catastrophic failure. They meditated on their own death and on the collapse of their defenses, reverse engineering their strategy to fortify these weak points. By visualizing what could go wrong, they made the improbable predictable. This stoic foresight removed the fog of war, allowing them to execute with the clarity of a surgeon, knowing that a flawless defense is the mother of an unstoppable offense. Perhaps the most profound discipline was the samurai's practice of cognitive decoupling, the art of separating their identity from the transient storms of emotion and fatigue. They called this fudoshin, the immovable mind. When exhaustion burned their muscles or fear tightened their chest, they did not say, "I am tired" or "I am afraid." They observed these sensations as clouds passing over a mountain, refusing to anchor their self-worth to a temporary state. A samurai's identity was fixed to his duty and his code, not to his fluctuating feelings. This allowed them to act not as slaves to their biology, but as masters of it. They could feel the fear and charge forward anyway, decoupling the physiological signal from the psychological decision. thereby making their will an indomitable fortress. Finally, the samurai lived the law of exponential compounding, the patient math of getting 1% better each day, a concept embodied in the philosophy of Kaizen continuous improvement. They did not seek the blinding flash of overnight transformation, but the quiet, relentless accretion of skill. A single extra practice cut per day, a single moment of deeper meditation, a single page of a strategy manual reread. These were negligible in isolation, but over a decade, they were astronomical. The warrior knew that the oak that withstands the typhoon was not grown in a season, but strengthened by each passing sun and rain. By stacking these daily micro-wins, they became not just undefeated in battle, but undeniable in spirit. Their legacy is the ultimate proof. Success is not a lottery. It is a system. It is the predictable harvest of a mind and body that have been trained to win, not by hoping for the sun, but by becoming the fire.